Hello everyone and welcome to the patch 4.0.3, which should have a title, okay? And this title, it should simply say, fuck you. Really, that's it. That's just a big, to our players, fuck you, love BioWare. Let's talk about it. There is a lot of changes happening here, but let's get to the thing. Classes in combat, really. Here we go. Every single fucking class has been nerfed, okay? It's just a big fuck you. Apart from the Juggernauts, the Juggernaut and the Juggernaut tanks. Let's roll Juggernaut tanks. Juggernaut and Guardian defense and Immortal. Let's take a look at them. The Jedi Knight, of course, defense Guardian. Warding power now increases Guardian slash critical chance by 20%, and the damage dealt by warding strike by 30%. It's up from 15. Now I haven't played a Guardian tank so far, so I can't really tell you anything about that. Beacon of Might increases the damage dealt by blade dance by 30%. Quite significant. Okay, Beacon of Might. I don't know what it does. I haven't played one. Honestly, I only played Vigilance when I did mine, so I haven't had a go at the tank yet, so I don't know. But yeah, damage increases a threat increase. Generally, when you increase the damage that a tank does, you're trying to increase the threat that the tank does. Because bear in mind, threat scales every 1 point of threat. So 30% damage increase is a 60% threat increase, essentially, because it's 1 to 2. Every 1 point of damage does 2 points of threat when you're a tank. So essentially, it's a threat increase when you increase it. It's a tank on the threat. And when you do the threat, the tank on the threat, I don't know. I'm tired tonight. When you increase the threat that the tank does, there you go. That's what we meant to say. The Sentinel, oh dear, Combat Sentinel. The damage dealt by Clashing Blast, it's been reduced. Okay, been reduced. However, this is less of a nerf. Saber Storm increases the critical strike damage bonus of Blade Rush and Clashing Blast by 15%, up 5%. So, bear in mind, Clashing Blast always auto crits. You're gonna be taking crit now. They want you to take crit in that spec. It can be adjusted. I mean, if you take crit, obviously, it will always crit, and you're getting your auto crit bonus is going up by 5%. So, in a sense, it's not really a nerf. However, we are now more reliant on the auto crit than ever. Okay, but we never use it anyway. You never use Clashing Blast off the proc anyway in that spec, so it should be okay. Should be fine. That's not so bad. Watchman, oh dear. Oh shit, fuck. That's what we're gonna say. We're not fucking 4. We don't say oh dear. We're not 4. I'm not talking to a 3-year-old. Talk to 3-year-olds all the time. It's not working out. Not working out well. You say, oh, don't say oh shit to a 3-year-old. They'll just repeat it. Just repeat it. That's the thing. I've been spending the day getting beaten up by 2 3-year-olds. Twins. Never have twins. So that's my advice. And my little nieces, you know, just beat you up, double team you, gang up on you. You know, one of them does a little dance for you, but the other one wrecks the place behind you. It's like, look at me, and then the other one wrecks the place. That's kind of what that is kind of related to this patch, because you know this is the fucking wrecking the place behind us. Force melt damage has been reduced. Doesn't say what percentages. BioWare percentages. I want to see it. I want to see it visually. What has it been reduced by? Force Melt, of course, Force Melt only does periodic damage, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does. It doesn't have initial damage. But there you go. Force Melt is being reduced. That sucks. It is one of our primary dots, and we want to keep that dot up. It does generate focus as well in that spec. So we'll move on to the console. The warrior changes are the same. Force Rend being reduced. Devastating Blast reduced, of course. And Consuming Power and Pillar of Strength, they're called. Increase the damage dealt by Ravage, it's the same thing. Same thing as the Guardian. The Consular, Double Strike, consumes 24, down from 25. Reduced damage in respect to the cost reduction. Now, it's not a huge deal, to be honest, because Double Strike is just filler. I mean, for Serenity, it's filler. You know, it's just filler. Okay, it's just basically filler, nothing else to press. Obviously its damage loss will affect us, but it means we can use more of them. So it might actually work out better in Serenity In tank spec, it is a bit of a loss, because force is less of an issue in tank spec. But, you know, for Serenity, it might actually work out okay. Yeah, the Sage, who gives a shit, because we never use it. Sages are never going to use that, who cares? It could do, unless it did massive fucking damage, but it doesn't. For the Shadow, Whirling Blow and Spinning Strike, force costs are down, but the damage is being reduced. Okay, should make it more sustainable. The biggest one is Spinning Strike, particularly for Infiltration. Okay, particularly for Infiltration Shadow, Spinning Strike is a big thing. Whirling Blow, which is your Assassinate. Point out that's what it is in the for the Shadow. That's a big one, especially for Infiltration again. I'm talking about Infiltration here. It is a blow to Serenity as well. It's not so huge for the tank as well. Applied Force no longer reduces the force consumed by Double Strike, Whirling Blow, Clairvoyant Strike, and Serenity Strike. I guess if they're reducing the force cost, then having the force cost reduced by them doesn't make any sense, because they are changing them. Okay, Clairvoyant Strike is getting its force cost reduced as well. Serenity! Oh, we're gonna cry. Mind Quell increases the damage dealt by Mind Crush 15%, down from 20. Thanks for that. 5% nerf to the spec that's behind. Cheers. Yeah, cheers for that. Okay, let's get to Infiltration, because this is going to be bad. It gets worse. It doesn't get any better, this video. If you're thinking this video is building to a crescendo and it's going to have a positive end, no, it's not going to end positively. It's just going to get worse. Okay, Deep Impact now increases the critical strike damage dealt by Shadow Technique's Force Breach. Psychokinetic Blast by 10%. It was 30. Fuck you. Fuck you, Infiltration Shadows. That's it. That's what they're saying to you, okay? The damage dealt by Psychokinetic Blast has been reduced, right? Fuck your Infiltration Shadow. And Clairvoyant Strike is, of course, being changed as well to the same as Double Strike. Because Clairvoyant Strike replaces Double Strike. It's going to cost less force. Its damage dealt has been reduced. But Jesus. Why? 20%. 20%. That's ridiculous. That is fucking insane. That you're gonna notice that. Okay, we're gonna notice that. People are gonna. There's gonna be QQ for that. Okay, Kinetic Combat, the tanking spec. Force Break now increases the damage dealt by combat techniques slow time by 30%, down from 50. Jesus. 20% nerf. It's not a huge deal because it's only damage dealt, but I mean, as a Shadow, you don't really have much of the threat generation problems anyway, because you generate quite a lot of threat as a Shadow tank. But it's a nerf to threat. It's not really a nerf to your survival, so it's not as big a deal as, you know, your damage. Nerfing your damage is fucking huge. The Sage, what is the Sage getting? Telekinetics, they've updated the tooltip. Force Gust, okay. So it only affects the activation time of Mind Crush. I guess it was doing, what, Vanquish or something. I guess. Maybe it's updated the tooltip, so that's not so bad. Although the Sage is the weakest of the ranged classes right now, so they haven't nerfed the Sage, okay? Good stuff. The Inquisitor stuff is still the same, it's just the same. Now we're gonna get to we'll go to the Sniper next. I don't want to cry at the end. I will cry halfway through this video, really, if we do the Bounty Hunter. The Agent, okay? Marksmanship! Just played that on the live stream there. Just finished the live stream. And we did Marksmanship. We did KPHM. Marksmanship Sniper. It was fun. Okay. Imperial Assassin now increases the damage dealt by ambush, penetrating blast, follow through, snipe, takedown, 10%. Okay. Down from 30. Another 20% nerf. Another fuck you. Penetrating blast also getting its damage reduced. So there you go. Fuck marksmanship. To hell with it. It's not going to work anymore. That's as fuck. Marksmanship wasn't the best either. Was it the best? Not really. I think it was the weakest of the three. I think Virulence, you know, was second. Engineering was first. Speaking of engineering, Oh god, this is gonna get worse. This is gonna be a cry again. Experimental basically your critical damage bonus, which is explosive probe, interrogation probe, EMP discharge, and all area effects is down from 30% to 10%. Fuck you again. Explosive engineering as well, which is the explosive probe, increases the damage dealt by explosive probe, cluster bombs, frag grenade, plasma probe, and orbital strike. 10% down is down from 15. That's your whole rotation. That's like, and that's every button in your rotation down. Oh god. So why don't we just say, look, we hate DPS, fuck you, everything's going down. Right, you're clearing too much content too quickly for us. We can't develop content, simply enough. We just can't do it, because A, we're idiots, B, we don't have the budget. Okay? We do not have the budget. Virulent series of shots no longer benefits from the effects of hue. I don't know what that is. I've never played Virulence in this expansion, so all effects. So it is still getting reduced, but at least Virulent seems to be getting nerfed the least, at least. So there you go. Maybe Virulence will come back. At least you've got an option. There's an option for you. We get to the Vanguard. We're going to talk about the Vanguard. Shield Specialist. The damage dealt by Ion Storm has been reduced. Again, thanks for reducing your AoE threat. Fuck you. Tactics. Oh, what have you done, you bastards? Havoc training increases the critical strike damage of Stock Strike. You know, it's Stock Strike, High Impact Bolt, Tactical Surge, Gut, Assault Plastique, Cell Burst. You know, your entire rotation, basically, is down to 10%. From 30. Fuck you. Right? Fuck you. That's all I'm saying. Fuck you. We're gonna say fuck you a lot. Because that's the title of this. I'm gonna call this video Patch 4.0.3 Fuck You. Because that's what it's gonna be called. That's what it's gonna be called. Seriously. Now, maybe we're gonna be looking at Plasma. Which is... I'm kind of angry at first, but maybe Plasma. Plasma, I think, well, at least the Pyro for the Power Tech is thematically better, I think. Suits the Power Tech better. So, you know, Power Tech obviously getting the same thing done to it. The massive reduction. But yeah, there you go. Fuck you, Vanguards. Fuck you, Shadows. Fuck you, Snipers. Maybe then that will come into the effect, because the critical damage bonus of, you know, your effects in Plasma are 10% as well. Might bring Plasma into it, because if we're not doing that big burst, it's kind of shit. Tactics is kind of shit. Without the big burst, we're still going to get a big auto crit. It's not going to be as big now. There's 26k auto crits. Bye-bye. The 3 big crits of... it may change our gearing priorities. Maybe we will be stacking 50% crit. Just to make that up. Well, maybe we will be. The Scoundrel. Let's look at the Scoundrel. Ruffian. Oh, kick something when it's down. At least they acknowledge the Scoundrel exists. No changes to Scrapper, because they don't acknowledge its existence. They would have to acknowledge that Scrapper Scoundrels exist first to change them, which they're not going to change. Brutal Shots no longer benefits from the effects of cheap shots. Again, fuck you. It's like, yeah, one of the weakest, you know. It's like challenging a one-legged man to a race, nerfing a Scoundrel. You know, it's like that. You're gonna win, obviously. You know, that's just not fair. It's unfair. You know, of course you're gonna win. You know, let's challenge, you know, one-legged man to a race and have a go at that, but Jesus. What do we think of this patch? This has to be... Everything's getting reduced. They haven't put out a statement to say why they're reducing everything. I'll see if I can find it on the website. See if they put out a statement why everything's reduced. Because there's going to be QQ. There's going to be a lot of QQ. Maintenance December 8th. Tate Watson. Taking the servers offline December 8th. Patch 4.03. Patch notes will be published Monday the 7th of December. Okay. Nothing. No statement. Also, Nightmare Loot. We'll cover the issue of Nightmare Loot, which is a total joke, to be honest with you. Nightmare Loot is not being fixed. Not being fixed until patch 4.1 apparently, till February. Jesus. Fix Nightmare Loot. Because we're going to get to that stage. I mean, I guess they're trying to slow the progress of guilds. But, I mean, it's just such a horrible strategy that they're going down. Nerfing every single class is just terrible. At least they're not nerfing healers, at least. Might go healer. Maybe we'll go healer next thing. Maybe we'll play Plasma. I mean, I can play Plasma fine, but, you know, nerfing the burst of tactics, kind of sad. I was having fun with tactics. I was having fun in Infiltration Shadow as well. I was having fun, and you've took away my fun. Thanks for that, BioWare. I'll leave you with that. We'll talk about the Nightmare Loot situation in another video. But thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. And let's go cry in the corner now. Goodbye.